Hi guys, it's me, Melissa Saliva. I just wanted to show you the second half of this lesson that I used with one of my students. So the first half I showed you the mastery-based portion. It was all the review. So now this is what the second half looks like. I tailored this to meet my students' needs. So I look at the spelling and I kind of like see what they're doing well with, but now I introduce new material. So the new material is for, and it comes at the beginning of the word, and it means away and off. The keywords are forget and forbid. So we talk about forget and we talk about forbid, and how like bid means you want something or you wish something or you're asking of something, and when you put the for in, it means um, away or you off. You can't, like, I forbid you to do something. So we have a conversation about this, and this slide like acts as an anchor so that way they can use these key words to remember what the meaning is when they look at new words. So the second one is an auditory drill. So I read him these words forgivably, and he has to identify how many syllables each word has and put a little check mark in the box according to how many syllables they have. And the auditory drill, it serves two purposes. It has him listen for and understand that it comes at the beginning of the word, and then it has him identify how many syllables, and it helps for spelling and automaticity. So these are the things that kids need help with when they struggle with reading. So the auditory drill gets them prepared to think about the new material. The second part of the new material is reading these words in a list. And like I described before, the list is controlled, so it's only these words that have for in them. So, and they're written, you read straight down for practice and automaticity and for decoding. Okay. The second part that I add is a syllable sort. So he looks at the word forgetful and he writes each syllable. So I add the writing piece so that way it actually strengthens the connection with the sound and the writing. And then it's still more of that syllable practice. So this really helps. And this I kind of like made specifically for this student. The next part is the spelling. I give him the words and then he spells them. We were talking about how we find that we use FOR when there's only one consonant, but we use FORE when there's a blend, kind of like a rule to kind of help. So he spelled these words. They're not very many because we're reading this book that we love, and we were talking too much. So usually I like to do a little bit more spelling than this. But we're going to work on it next time, so I'm not too worried. And the next part is complex sentences. I give him a sentence, and then he repeats the sentence, then he spells it. And there was an error, so when there's an error, we kind of have to do it 3 times each to, imprint it in the brain. So this is all the new material. After this, we do some fluency practice where he reads a passage that he's familiar with. And then after that, we do a lot of interest reading. So we read books that are amazing. Anything from Hatchet to Hero, we're reading right now, by Mike Lupica, and him reading out loud and us doing shared reading really helps that vocabulary. So these are the components of the second half of the lesson, which is all new material in reading. So this is it. And this is a full lesson. It's a lot to get accomplished in 1 hour, but it definitely, the format helps. It just builds towards that advanced level reading. There's a big gap between the reading instruction we do when kids are younger and then now. And this will move him towards that college level reading, all that advanced vocabulary by looking at these prefixes and suffixes. And we also add the new card into his card pack. So he'll practice that at the beginning of the next lesson. And that's about it. So this is a full lesson of one-on-one tutoring, multisensory, systematic, and virtual. So obviously this is not without my student, but this is how the lesson goes. So message me at beaconvalleyliteracy.com if you have any questions. And that's about it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Melissa Saliva with Beacon Valley Literacy, and I help parents help kids with reading difficulties. Thanks for your support.